Welcome back to Web World. In this video, we'll dive into answers for week 2 of data science using Python course. Whether you are stuck on a problem or just want to double check your solutions, this video is for you. So let's get started. First question: what type of data is represented by a nominal scale? The data that represents categories without a natural order is called a nominal data. So the correct option will be option B. You are given a data set containing information on a collection of books in a library, including the number of pages, genre, and publication year. Identify which of these attributes are qualitative and which are quantitative. Further specify whether the qualitative data are nominal or ordinal. So here, number of pages and publication year are quantitative data. As we know, these are numerical and are measurable data. So this comes under quantitative data, while genre is categorical data. So it fall under qualitative data. So the correct option will be option C. Moving to third question. Given the following data set representing the ages of participants in a study, the median of these ages is. So here the count of data is 9. So here the count is odd number. In that case, we have to divide the count by 2 and increment by 1. So 9 by 2 will give 4.5. When we round it, we have the answer as 4, and we'll add plus 1 to it. So the fifth value will be our median. So here 22 will be our median. If a data point is below Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR or above Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, it is considered where Q1 first quartile, Q3 third quartile, IQR interquartile range. So it is nothing but an outlier. So the correct option will be option C. Moving to fifth question. Which of the following statements are true regarding box plots? So box plots will display the 5 number summary, which is Q1, Q3, maximum, minimum, and also median. So the box represents the interquartile range. So option A and option D are correct options. Sixth question is, which of the following is not a goal of inferential statistics? So inferential statistics is to make conclusions from a sample about the population and to predict future economic conditions, to understand customer behavior, but not to describe sample data. So to describe a sample data, we have descriptive statistics. So the correct option will be option A. The probability of an email is spam is dash, given that it contains the word free. If 3% of all emails are spam and the word free appears in 10% of all emails, and we know that free appears in 60% of spam emails. So Here we have to calculate based on the formula. Here the formula is probability of spam mails where the mail contains free into probability of spam mails divided by probability of mails which contains the word free. So I already calculated it and I got the value 0.018. So it is the correct option. We have to type it manually. In hypothesis testing, if the observed p-value is less than the chosen significance level, we have to reject the null hypothesis in favor of the alternative hypothesis. So the correct answer is reject. REJECT. We have to type it. So coming to ninth question, which conditions necessitate the use of two-tailed test? When testing if a new teaching method differs from the traditional method. When the direction of effect is not specified. When accessing if a drug has any effect regardless the direction. So here option A and option B and also option D are the correct options. So as we know, two-tailed tests are regardless the direction. Which of the following steps are parts of a hypothesis test's decision making process? So the steps involved in hypothesis tests decision making processing are starting the hypothesis initially and selecting a significance level and also choosing the appropriate test and perform calculations on it. So the correct options will be option A, option B and option C. Moving to 11th question, given a dataset with a sample mean of 100 which is small m and a population mean of 105 which is mu, a standard deviation of 15 which is s and a sample size of 30 which is n. So we have to find one sample t-test value. So the formula for that is m minus mu divided by s divided by square root of n, which is 100 minus 105 divided by 50 by root 30, which gives the value minus 1.83. I already calculated it and it is the right option, right answer. So we have to type it manually. Okay. Conditional probability is used when two events are dependent and also one event has already occurred and updating probabilities with new information. So here the correct options will be option B, option C and also option D. As we all know, conditional probability means checking the probability of an event when another event is already given. So there should be a relationship between those two events. So they both are independent, not independent, they both are dependent. Moving to 13th question. Dr. Sahil conducted a study on the impact of new drug on a particular disease of individuals over a month. He collected daily scores of disease on a scale of 1 to 10. After intaking the drug from 50 participants and summarized his findings using descriptive statistics, the results showed a mean score level of 6.5, a median of 7, and a mode of 8. The range of data was 5 with a variance of 1.44 and a standard deviation of 1.2. Dr. Sahil also prepared a box and whisker plot to visually display the distribution of score among participants. So, our question is, which measure of centrality indicates that the most common energy level score reported by participants was? So here the most common energy level means the most frequently occurred energy value. So the most frequently occurred value will be our mode value. So it is 8. So the correct option will be option B. Moving to 14th question. The measure of spread indicating the average distance of each data point from the mean is the standard deviation. So the correct option will be option C. Moving to the last question. Based on the box and whisker plot, if several data points were identified outside the range of typical values, these points are considered as outliers. So this is an repeated question. Okay, so we have to type it manually. Check the spelling correctly. It is outlier. So let's submit this assignment. Okay, I've successfully submitted the assignment. So thank you for watching.